What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, and I explained to you guys yesterday what was going on with EA Sports. If you guys still did this, you made a huge mistake, and it's probably going to hurt you for the next couple months if you're still playing Madden and you're preparing for rookie premieres. Now, what happened was EA Sports dropped the new Karloftis, right? And I explained to you guys the way that they have everything set up and the differences in the prices and why it did not make sense to buy the limited, all right? A few people from my stream actually pulled this card and they sold them for like 7 mil, and that was a smart thing to do, all right? Because what's gonna happen right now is this, right? If you paid the money for this card, like if you paid 7 mil, 8 mil, whatever the ridiculous amounts that he was going for yesterday, right? This is the only thing that's going to happen. His price cannot go above a certain amount anymore, because we're leading into the golden ticket era of the game where they're just going to start dropping ridiculous cards. They've already showed us that they don't care about the game by dropping Omaha with Andrew Luck. So you have to understand, if you bought this card or if you're planning to buy this card, you're making a huge mistake, all right? You can still get the same exact card without spending that much money. So let's go ahead and talk about how you're going to do that. Let's just go ahead and figure that situation out, okay? When you look at the fact that EA Sports gave you the option, they literally gave you the option to be able to get this card two ways. You can get the limited and save the AP, or you can go ahead and just buy, do the set, whatever, and go from there. If you chose to buy, all right, if you chose to actually buy the limited, you've already been screwed. Like, you need to get rid of them right now. I highly doubt people are going to spend for them. Just generally because it doesn't really make that much sense to do that. But you got to try to get as many coins as you can back for him now, because it won't matter in a few. Like in a couple days, like once they start dropping everything, it's like 2 days until top 100. The market's going to completely be destroyed and you're just going to get an L. All right, for what? To save 1 AP? Doesn't make any sense. Now, I have the set card, okay? And I want you to take a look at everything that's on the limited versus the regular card that I have that's in my lineup. Now, it's not showing the boost to his 98 speed. He actually is 98 speed. You can get a boost if you use the Combine player, Daniil Hunter, so that also boosts him. Just take a look at everything. So you want me to believe, right, that EA Sports has my best interest in mind when people are actually thinking that the limited is worth it. Now, if it was earlier in the year and AP was a real critical situation, it would make sense. But because of the fact that we know what's coming soon, it actually doesn't. I'm gonna double down on it and tell you it would actually be less for you to get 40 AKA and add the other speed to him as well than to actually buy this card. And what that means is the 99s are getting ×9 AKA chemistry, and when you get to 40, you get +1 speed. So you could actually do the math and go get the cards and put them in your lineup and get the same exact card for so much less. So right now, with the way everything is set up, if you already did it, you can get an out by trying to get rid of them as soon as possible, just so that you save whatever you have, all right? Because it's no way that I'm gonna give them, whatever. Look, somebody just bought them. The auction has just ended, so people are still buying them for 6, all right? That is good if you have them, all right? If you're one of those people that are trying to figure out what's the next move, I'm telling you right now, if you get the set card, it's pretty much the same thing. You got to figure out the AP. Having both Colossus and Unstoppable Force is not all that it's like, it's wild. Like, they're trying to pump it up to be a certain thing, but it's not all that crazy. All right. So now, as far as the other players and, trying to figure out what you want to do and how many, AKA they give you, you can see like the 98s gives you ×2. It's really weird the way that they add it, because the 99s jump to, obviously ×9. But this guy's given ×2. You'd have to go through and figure it out how to get the 40. But regardless of how you decide to do that, it just appears that EA Sports is out for blood and they're not Steven Seagal. Now, when you go over to the abilities, right? When people were saying, yo, G, but the abilities, he gets that, run stopper, all that stuff like that. What is the comparison to that? Remember, they still kept him with the run stopper. The only thing they took away was unpredictable, that you still get for 0 on the set card. So you're still getting the same abilities. You're getting everything. You're going to get -1. It's not going to be 10. It's going to be 1 with the AKA. Like, it's going to be 9. So you're going to -1 with that. And it's going to go up 1 for Colossus and Unstoppable Force, right? my opinion, and this is just my opinion, right? You don't have to have both. There is literally no reason to have both at all. You don't need to do it. So if you're choosing to do that, that's one thing. But I don't believe that you need to do it. So it's up to you if you want to actually go ahead and do that. All right? Because at the end of the day, if you give him Colossus, he's going to do the same exact thing that he would do with Ultimate, Unstoppable Force as well. So you don't have to go that route. And again, that's just my opinion. If you want to spend the money and do what you want, that's fine. But as we get closer to completing everything, later on, it might be an issue. Now, if you're just straight mutt rich and it doesn't matter, spend the money. It doesn't matter. Spend the coins, whatever, and then you just figure it out later when it's time for you to go ahead and get those rookie premieres. But remember, until we get everything that they release for Madden 26, we're not done. Just to kind of give you guys insight into it. Now, this is the set card. Okay, so I have the run stopper and I have the unpredictable. Yes, I'm using an actual bucket for it, but it's still 0. Okay, inside stuff, under pressure. Now, under pressure doesn't work. And also, you still get the 3 buckets. You can play around with this if you want. But yeah, under pressure doesn't work. So that's also a major problem. So we can kind of play around with it to see. And the reason that I know that it doesn't work is simply because I got dotted uncontrollably earlier. I won the game, but it's just like, dude, he's right in front of the guy's face. He's running backwards. He throws the ball across body and it's deadly accurate. So we remember, all of us remember when this ability a couple years ago was a must-have, where the ball was going nowhere near where it was supposed to. It was really disgusting. Everything has been toned down. All right. So in my opinion, right, I would say that the best thing to add to him would be Tackle Supreme, just so that when he wraps up, like, dude, you're not going anywhere. You just want to make sure that that's the actual situation that you're trying to get. So this is all the stuff you get, right? Now, as far as where I am, I have 18. Okay, I have 18. That's currently what my situation is. Now, I think I only have these 2 players. I believe it's only these 2 players, but I don't know exactly why. The newer 98s are ×9, and then you have some of them are ×2. Like, it's real stupid. You have to go through that if you wanted to get the 40, right? Because if you get the 40, you get the +1 speed. So if you wanted to make them a 99 speed, you can go through and find some of these cards and just add them up. You know what I'm saying? And get to what you need. And that will definitely work out, along the lines of what you're trying to get. But it's up to you if you want to make him exactly like the limited and not spend as much, because these cards are not as expensive if you were to do the math. We're just getting it to 40, as opposed to going and spending 6 million one shot. So that's all up to you. But again, you still have a little bit of time to fix it if you did do it. Just my opinion. Figure out what you want to do and go from there. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. You have a beautiful day. Stay blessed. Until next time. One love, y'all.